Well, Ian is a hurricane again as it heads for landfall for a third time. Michael George is in Charleston, South Carolina, following this deadly storm's path.
Ian arrives in South Carolina today with hurricane-force winds and heavy rain. The storm isn't packing the punch it had in Florida, but it's still a threat to lives and property.
I think we're going to see a lot of wind. We'll probably see a lot of rain.
In southwest Florida, the view from above shows the massive devastation Hurricane Ian inflicted on beach communities. Houses were ripped from their foundations, leaving people homeless and in shelters. Emergency responders from the Coast Guard, National Guard, and other search and rescue teams have conducted at least 700 rescues so far.
There are over 1,000 dedicated rescue personnel who are going up and down the coastline.
Sanibel Island suffered major damage. The only road in has been washed away.
Everything on Sanibel is destroyed, that's for sure.
The Strader family rode out the storm in Sanibel.
Where the wind was coming pretty hard.
I was praying a lot, a lot.
The family had to be rescued after the storm, but their pet tortoises, the reason they stayed behind, didn't survive. Intense winds and flooding are threatening the entire South Carolina coastline. Here on Folly Beach, some race to evacuate in the final hours before Ian hits.
I don't think it's going to get any better. Definitely going to get worse. We are on the beach, so I think it's time to head out.
North Carolina's governor reminded people not to take Ian lightly.
And remember, it was only 13 months ago that Tropical Storm Fred brought destruction and death to our mountains in western North Carolina.
The southeast coast of South Carolina is known as low country, areas already prone to flooding. The storm surge there could be particularly devastating. Michael George, CBS News, Folly Beach, South Carolina.
And more Arkansans are responding to the call for help in the aftermath of Ian. Yesterday, Red Cross members left, but they aren't the only organization here in the natural state heading that way. Sheepdog Impact Assistance of Central Arkansas is gearing up to leave Sunday morning. The chapter commander says they've been helping those impacted by natural disasters since Hurricane Katrina and know all too well how much destruction can be left behind.
We'll help them get their flooded materials out of the home, get it cleaned up so it can start drying. They can start the recovery process.
Lewis says they're in need of a lot of things before they hit the road, like tarps, medical supplies, and chainsaw oil, just to name a few. If you would like to help them, we have a link on our website, thv11.com. And the Biden administration is ramping up its response to Ian's damage left behind in Florida. The president is promising his full support, especially when it comes to disaster relief. President Biden met with FEMA officials yesterday to discuss the extent of the damage.